Hey guys, so today I'm gonna do another video that has some sort of structure. Um, yeah, I wanted to talk about a movie that I watched in my freshman year for a class, and basically it led me to uh, look at another movie because of it. So it was a movie called The Crying Game, and basically it was a transgender romance film about um, basically two guys that get captured, and one of them has a girlfriend, but gets that guy gets killed, and he wants the guy that he was captured with to send a message to his girlfriend. Um, but then the guy that was supposed to be the messenger ends up falling into a kind of romance with the woman, but finds out she's transgender, and then he has to like deal with a lot of his feelings towards not knowing whether he wants to be in this relationship or not because she's transgender. Now, the thing that interested me about this was the woman that played the transgender woman in real life. I don't think identified as transgender. I think she was just like a male in real life. Um, so it got me thinking, like, are there other transgender films where maybe they actually do cast transgender people to play the roles? And if so, like, how many of those movies are there? And the short answer was there are movies like that, but they're not a lot. And they also, like, don't have a big budget because there's not a large demographic of people that watch that. Um, so I thought it was interesting. A movie I came across was Boy Meets Girl Love Transgender. Um, the long story short of this film is basically it's about two best friends that kind of grow up with each other. Um, don't really like fall completely in love at first, but uh, once the transgender girl starts like dating other people, uh, in like the transgender dude has been like dating other chicks, they basically realize that they like each other. And so the transgender woman in the movie is Robbie Ricky, right? Ricky Jones. So Ricky Jones is the transgender woman. She Robbie Riley's her best friend. Then you have a another couple where one of them is in the military. That guy's name I believe is David, and then um, his his fiance is named Francesca. Now, Ricky and Francesca do have sex one time, and that was uh, while Francesca was already engaged, and she was also trying to save herself for marriage too. So, but then we find out that um, with David, who's in the military, who usually is like slandering um, Ricky's name, calling her all types of derogatory terms. We find out that's mainly because he and Ricky were in a relationship like before, and basically he says all those things so nobody kind of associates them as ever being together. Then we find so then the story progresses, and Francesca and David seem to have started solving their own problems in getting ready to marry, and um, Ricky and Robbie seem like they're gonna have their own relationship. It's also important. Ricky was trying to get she's trying to get accepted into like a design school or something, I can't remember. She gets denied, but then um, basically she ends up getting a whole bunch of donations and starting so she can start a practice in New York. This whole kind of movie takes place in a kind of rural country type setting. Um, so it's really interesting how it progresses. Now, usually for transgender romance films, they kind of can't get around doing nudity because there's no way to really convey how big of a role nudity plays in like relationships where one or both people are transgender or whatever. Um, and for what both of these movies were, they were interesting. Um, I There were a lot of things that were annoying with the movie The Crying Game, but it was meant to be annoying in the way it was written. It was meant to have you like saying, like, can this guy choose whether he wants to be with a transgender woman already, or if he doesn't want to be with one, why doesn't he just like come out and say he doesn't want to be with one? Don't like waste your time like that. But in the end, in The Crying Game, he does end up doing um, jail time for her, even though if you watch the movie, there could definitely be a claim um, with that murder that it was in self-defense. So I don't know why they didn't just claim self-defense instead of like making it this romantic gesture. Um, so that was interesting to me. Um, but yeah, I definitely liked Boy Meets Girl a lot more than I did The Crying Game, but they weren't meant to be like the same like movie style. One was meant to be a guy in like a internal conflict in The Crying Game, whereas in Boy Meets Girl, it's just two best friends taking a while to realize that they love each other. So yeah, that's basically all I have to say on this topic. I'm gonna go ahead and well, you guys already know what I'm about to do. It's TiMonster Talks to Plants time. Let's get it. I'm back. Um, yeah, what's good? I mean, wow. Um, people are saying how bad plastic is for the earth, but a lot of you are in like plastic containers and seem pretty fine to me. So there you have it. Plastic is actually good for the earth. Comprehensive proof.